Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 15 of Direwolf 20's Enigmatica 2 Expert Mode. I'm mining, as you can see. Doing a combination, and to be fair, not really a combination. I barely used my drill at all. But you know what I did find? A lot of these things that I actually see another one of right below me, and I want to kind of show it to you guys because it's cool. That's what's up. Alright, so popping downstairs. I've been collecting many Thaumcrafty resources. Pretty much a ton of every resource, to be fair. But Thaumcraft is definitely a focus of what I'm working on right now. Because that's my plan for today, is I need to get into some magic mods. So we're going to set up some Thaumcraft stuff. We might set up a Thaumcraft building, because I've had a few people submit building designs for Thaumcraft. So we shall see what comes of that. Hello, spiders. This is the thing that I found a few of down here. Things like this structure. I found actually quite a few of these. Now I know I've gotten some coal. Nice. Alright, so tin. I need more copper spots, huh? Nice. That was not quite enough inventory space for the copper that I need to store. What can I get rid of? I've got so much junk, let me tell you guys. I've been doing my best to like keep stuff in the dank null and keep stuff in the bag. Hey, vein mining is great for cobwebs, just putting that out there. And I've gotten quite a few monster spawners to drop as well, and I've been storing those in my bag. I've gotten 6 spiders and 1 cave spider spawner. That's the amount of monster spawners that I've found in areas like this, where there's like a bunch of cobwebs around some cobblestone, and there's like spider spawners like crazy. Yep, that's what I've been doing. It's actually surprising how much of that there is down here. So I've been doing my best. It's a weird ore vein. Isn't that a weird ore vein? Seems like a weird ore vein to me. It's like strange, the pattern of it. Lots of copper and gold just kind of haphazardly around with some air pockets. That's a weird way for ore to spawn. Uh-oh, what happened? What happened? It's because I'm placing with the dank null. It's a little bit different than placing with actual real blocks. The other thing I've been focusing on is these things. Amber is really nice to find in quantities. Mostly, I think copper is something I have a stupid amount of that I should really just kind of do that with. Mostly, hello creeper, because you get these knowledge fragments that you can use to avoid having to do research. So if you're not up for doing lots of research, grab all the amber ore that you can, because you'll find in there these things which are preserved curiosities, right? And what happens is you right-click them and you basically get research points. So you can click those instead of doing the table-based research, which is cool. All right, I really need to stop mining now because I've got a stupid amount of resources, and I should go home and fix things and repair things and just do whatever. But or this, any and all that you can get of that is good. I'm looking for as much of it as I can because, like I said, those preserved curiosities are for the win. 9, not bad, not bad. I mean, ideally you have like lots of them, but that's more for when you get into like automated mining, which we're not quite there yet, right? So it's nighttime, so that's great. I basically set up and started mining in what is essentially a pretty large area behind my house. Hooray! And we're home. Home sweet home. Lots of ores to process, lots of stuff to put away. But today's episode, like I said, will be more focused around Thaumcraft. So I'm going to basically just clean up my inventory super quick here and then Thaumcraft it up. Does that sound cool? I think that, if I'm not mistaken, is the first magic-based mod that we need to get into. So let's see, get all the stuff out of my backpack, like the broken spawners and the mob drops. The rest of the stuff stays in there, right? You guys are going to go into my miscellaneous junk chest. I need more food. So much to do, so little time. Clear that out. And I think this has been where I've been putting all my Thaumcrafty gems, of which we've gotten quite a lot, actually. We're not not doing too bad on that. You're a mob drop, so you go over here. See, I'm trying to be organized, guys. I should set up a sorting system at some point, but I have to look into like what item sorting options I have. Okay. That looks pretty good to me. Cool. My gems chest is going to fill up nice and quick. And lots of string from all those cobwebs that I told you guys I found. All right. So, Thaumcraft book. Let's see what we got chapter-wise in questing. So for gates, right, we already opened the gate for Thaumcraft, which was I had to find an air crystal. Well, that is taken care of, right? Red velvet cake sounds quite tasty. Paper sounds not super important. Do I get to choose that? No, I get both, so that's cool. Now, I think red velvet cake I can place on the ground, but yeah, we'll see. I think I've been storing my food in this chest. So yeah, let's take out some food that's probably good. I don't know what I got. Ah, BLT, that sounds nice. All right, so with that taken care of, right? Yes, we've unlocked the Astral Sorcery chest or chapter, but I know for sure that well, actually, I don't know for sure, but I assume that we're gonna have to do some Thaumcrafty stuff before we get into Astral Sorcery. So let's start with Thaumcraft today and then get into it. So obviously, chapter 1 is the Thaumonomenon, right? So we've got to get a bookshelf for ourselves, which requires 3 books. Now I think what I do, break my bookshelf back home. So I've got my 3 books. So I'm going to have to make a new bookshelf. Not a problem. Done and done. And I believe I need to make some Salus Mundus, right? To get started here. So I think it's 3 of you. I think it's 3 different ones, right? So I'm going to try and use, you know, ones that I have a lot of. And we're going to need flint and a bowl. And does it need redstone? I forget. 3 V crystals derived from the redstone dust by crafting them with a flint and a bowl. Okay, so it does need redstone. Cool. Well, that, luckily, I don't have much of a problem with. Okay. Can I? I can't shift-click you, can I? There we go. And as long as you've registered that I've gotten that, then I can get my Thaumonomenon by doing that. Woo! Dun 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 dun! Thaumcraft get. Nice. All right, so let's claim that command. Right? Welcome to Thaumcraft, a tier 1 magic mod. Thaumcraft is one of the oldest magic mods around and features a lot of interesting content, such as golems and a spell system. You have to progress in the Thaumonomicon to be able to progress through Thaumcraft, although these quests provide some guidance, you'll need to follow the Thaumonomenon. To obtain the Thaumonomenon, you'll need to... Yeah, we did that already. This chapter leads to Astral Sorcery and Blood Magic. Nice. Wow, look at all the things. Look at all the chapters. Look at all the cool stuff. So I assume not a whole lot has been changed up by the pack for Thaumcraft, but I might be wrong. I don't know. We'll find out. I would like to sleep, but there's monsters nearby, apparently. Apparently. I'm not seeing any monsters. Now, I have gotten a few submissions for a Thaumcraft base, so I'm trying to decide, do I want to start Thaumcraft here and then move to a Thaumcraft base shortly thereafter, or what's the deal? So let me look into what submissions I've gotten from you guys for a Thaumcraft-styled base, and then we'll be right back. Does that sound cool? All right, back in a sec, guys. So here's a structure that looks pretty cool. Let's load it up. Boom. Oh, yeah, that looks neat. Look, there's even a basement. It comes with a basement. How cool is that? However, we're going to need a healthy amount of resources. Holy cow, that's a lot of stuff. That is a lot of stuff. I got to look into what all these things are. So, oh man, it requires candles and everything. Look at that. And some arcane bricks, which I don't have yet. It looks like that might be skystone. We might be able to get some of that stuff. I don't know what that purple stuff is. We'll figure it out. I can find the information. But 5,000 total blocks. Holy cow, that's a lot of blocks. So that submission came via Twitter from Eric J33. So Eric J, thank you for that. Looks like a pretty cool tower. I'm going to put the paste spin message here in chat because you guys know I am going to forget to put that in the description of the video. So I'm just putting it here because you know me, right? So there you go. There is the paste spin. So if you guys want to be able to get that, go for it. So I have a lot of blocks to collect to make that, but some of them are Thaumcrafty blocks. So let's get started doing Thaumcraft here. And then when we get to the point where we want to expand, I'll work towards getting the base. Now, luckily, we also have, from Building Gadgets, some construction paste. So my plan will be to get some of this. So remember, we have to make a construction block. Haha. And that's construction block powder next to water, right? So you put that next to water, just a little bit of clay, sand, and lapis. Shouldn't be too bad to get some of that stuff. And then that'll help us to build the structure we want to build with our copy-paste gadget. So we'll see what's up, but that looks like a pretty cool Thaumcrafty tower. And if I'm not mistaken, there's like a whole area inside that looks really neat, but we'll have to figure it out at some point. So yeah, we will definitely investigate that. All right. But before we can do that, we are going to have to play around some other stuff first. So let's put you guys away, and let's get started with Thaumcraft. So I guess step one, first steps, who would have thought a few sprinkles of dust could have created this marvelous book? Yeah, that's what's up. So first thing we have to do is make an arcane workbench, right? So to get started, we're going to probably need a healthy amount of Salus Mundus, right? So let's get like 20 of this stuff. Does that sound fair? I think it does. We have a healthy amount of fire. And we have a healthy amount of terra. I mean, technically we have a healthier. Let's do that and that. I think I like that. Yeah, that's a good plan. Oh, we already got the 20 of that. So we're going to need a little bit more of this stuff. And then we're going to need our bowl, and that should be cool, right? So we'll do you, and you. Boom. And then these 10, boom, and then we're cool to go. All right. Nice. So first things first, we're going to need the crafting table sprinkled with some dust, I believe. So let's call this corner my Thaumcraft corner. For now, Rorax. For now, Rorax. I'm going to build a building for this and make it cool looking, Rorax. You hear me talking to you, Rorax? And she's very upset that I put my storage area in the middle of the base. Very upset. I think I've ruined her life. It was a pretty uncomfortable time for her, but I mean, we'll move on. It's all good. So we'll put that there for now. And then as I get more and more resources, we'll get a little bit more into this stuff. So how am I overall on gems? Not too bad. Not too bad. Could use a little bit more Ordo. So that's why I'm trying to avoid using Ordo for anything. But overall, not terrible, right? So that is a chapter complete. Boom. Progress. I've made the arcane workbench. Next thing I have to make is a thermometer. So that will be a little bit of gold. And some glass panes, which I should have one of at least. Nice. And I'm pretty sure I can shift click in here, but the thermometer is easy enough to make. Cool. Hooray! We did the thing. Woot. It's the scan all the things game with Direwolf 20. Scan all the things. Woohoo! Look at that. We should get actually like a healthy amount of some resources here. Oh yeah, that's what's up. We get to play scan all the things. Scanning all the things. Alright, a few more scanning of all the things, and then we'll be good to go. Oh yeah, there's definitely some things in here to scan. Woohoo! So we've got the thumb nom nom nom, and that is that chapter complete. And now we can make arcane stone, which is cool because we're going to need that for that cool building that I plan to make in the future. We can learn about the different types of knowledge. So there's 2 types of knowledge for those of you who may be newish to Thaumcraft or haven't seen it before. There's observations and theories. And each of these are going to require to unlock stuff in Thaumcraft. Now, observations are made by scanning things with the Scan All the Things game. So I already got a bunch of observational knowledge, which is cool. Theories, on the other hand, are made by doing research at the research table. So we'll get into that probably super soon. So theory crafting, which is like, by super soon I meant now. So we need the research table and the scribing tools, right? So research table is just, yeah, I think we just need a table from Thaumcraft. Yeah, wood table, which looks like it requires treated wood. So good to know that that stuff is required for Thaumcraft. See? How cool is that? All right, so we'll get one of you, and then the scribing tools requires a feather, an ink sac, and a glass bottle. So we should have, do we have no feathers? We may have no feathers. We have ink sacs, but I don't think we have feathers. Is there a sneaky way to make a feather, or do I just have to go find some chickens? Probably gotta just go find some chickens. So let me go out in the world. I see sheep on the map. So I got that going for me, but chickens, not just yet. So let me run around the world for a few minutes. Oh, I see chickens. Hold on. Nobody panic, but I see chickens. And hey, look, it's one of those Angus cows that drops the really good meat. Cool. And Highland cows. Now there should be chickens nearby. Hey, a chicken. Woot. I should set up an animal farm of some form at some point. That's absolutely going to be a to-do list item for Direwolf. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe my Thaumcraft building can be over here to the left of my base, because we did actually clear out a healthy amount of space for our base to be. So I'd like to have like a Thaumcraft structure, an astral sorcery structure, right? So if you guys have ideas for different building types, and you want me to have different buildings for the different mods that I'm playing with, feel free to continue submitting ideas, because absolutely part of my plan is to do some of that stuff. And then you are some kind of crop. Cool. All right, so let's get that one feather. Boom. And then the glass. You do that, right? And then you can make a scribing tool. And that should be cool. And we can do our research over here. Cool? And that should be complete. Nice. So what I have to do is basically do a little bit of research. Research is a bit scattershot. I can direct my research with research aids. If I use certain nearby items and curios during the research process, will allow me to focus my research in a certain direction. So having a bookshelf will give me reference materials that I can use during the research process. These come in form of limited special draws that have a higher chance of occurring than normal draws. Cool. Nice. Yeah. So there's a lot of research aids we can do. But let's get, do I have the resources for a book? I would think so. Yeah, I'd rather not, if I can avoid it, use leather right now. So what I'll do is get, we need a bunch of paper anyway, right? And I'm hoping that this recipe works for books. Yeah, it does. Cool. Okay. And then we can do that and these. So having a bookshelf nearby totally helps with our researching. Cool. Yeah, look at that. And also having this thing nearby helps. Cool. All right, so I should be able to now create a theory. Nice. All right, you perform some random experiments to see if something can be discovered. Gain 15 to 30 in a completely random category. Thaumic Tinkerer. So that must be an add-on mod, because I think it is. What does Thaumic Tinkerer get me? Oh yeah, look at that. Cool. Yeah, Thaumic Tinker is in the pack. I have not played with this yet, but it looks like it has some cool, you know, nice. The transfector interface is in here. I didn't realize Thaumic Tinker came out for 112, so that is news to me today. But we'll get into that in a little bit. I think I'm just going to do, you know, standard experimentation for now. Sure. So you guys have probably seen this before. Fundamentals. Sure. Complete theory, right? So that didn't get me far because I only got about 75% of the way into fundamentals, right? But I'm going to do another one, and I think it should remain it. So that'll be cool. All right, we'll do that. Fundamentals. And I guess we can reject alchemy. $30 in fundamentals, that's cool. So the percentage we got from before plus this percentage should combine to give me 1 fundamentals research. So now when I look at my Thauminomicon, right, I should see knowledge totals, right? So I've got this many from observation, and we've got 1 fundamental and 0 alchemy from research. Now that's where some of these things come into handy, right? So if I right-click this, I gain some knowledge. That gave me, from what I understand, yes, it gave me Thaumic Tinker knowledge. Sweet. So that gave me some research down here. So instead of researching, I can right-click Preserved Curiosities and gain some knowledge that way, right? And that's pretty cool. So I already got some alchemy and a couple other things going on. A little bit of Gallimancy, right? So I'm going to hold off on clicking those too much right now. Not that it, like, matters, right, if I do it now or later, but still, it's all good. So, brewing simple potions, blah, blah, blah. Discovering alchemy. Let's complete it. Boom. Hooray! So I have to make a crucible, which is pretty easy. Right? We're going to need some of you, like this. Or maybe not. Crucible. How do you make... cauldron. That would be iron plates. Luckily, ain't too hard. Oh, right. There we go. Now, are you working? You are good. Cool. And you can use this as a normal crafting table, as a reminder. In before flux. I'm pretty sure this is empty, right? So I can just... that. And you should have netherrack. Boom. And then I just need a flint and steel, and we'll be good to go with that thing. So let's get our reservoir, which we should, I'm pretty sure I saw recently, that. And then our flint and steel, which we used earlier to open up a gate to the nether / the end, depending on if Dyer is derping or not when he speaks. And, oh, we've got a crucible. Sweet. So that should mark this complete. Perfect. Yeah, let's make some night ore, because that's a nice thing to get. Ignis, Potentia, and glowstone. So we're going to probably want... Oh, wow. I really don't have a lot of glowstone, do I? So this should have 10 and 10, right? And you've got 10 of that. How much do these have? 5? So 2 torches, a coal, and a glowstone should... Nice. Night ore. Cool. And night ore is nice because now I no longer need this. Because night ore can act as a heat source... which is cool. Beautiful. Ta-da! Heat source. Cool. Harvest level obsidian. Look at that. Nifty. Alright, where's my BLT? I want to stop having to eat every 5 minutes. That would be great. I should get into cooking for blockheads. So I have a better source of food going on. But we'll get there. There's so many things to do. So many things to do. That's what's kind of fun. So we can discover infusion if we want. Boom. That's cool. Yeah, we can get our thaumaturgist gear, and we can get our enchanted fabric. We can discover oromancy. Visit the lowest depths of the world. Visit the highest peaks you can find. Okay, that sounds exciting. So I think I have to go visit Bedrock. Maybe even scan it. And then highest peaks, I assume I just have to climb to a decent height, right, in the world. Maybe we'll do that during the day, or even between episodes. We'll see. But that'll get me Oromancy unlocked. So let's start progressing down alchemy, right? So basic alchemy is cool, right? We learn about all the different crystals, right? Do you remember those things, guys? Maybe, possibly? So you can create essentia crystals by basically putting essentia in there and then quartz shards. This is actually also a really nice way to kind of clean up your messes. So maybe what I'll do I have a chest? I do have a chest. Let's do this. You ready? Got an idea. What if we placed right here some of that, right? Now, this thing... Whoops. I do that literally every time I play with Thaumcraft. Literally every time. It happens so often that it's almost funny, but it's not because it's awful when it happens. But yeah, don't right-click the crucible with the thermometer. Shift right-click the crucible with the thermometer. Now, can you see the stuff in there? Maybe not. So, like, that's bad, what I just did, right? So we're going to want to drop... Cool. Now we've got some of that stuff. So I got that stuff turned into essentia, and now I've got it there, and that's cool. And I can use those crystals for whatever purpose I want. And maybe I want to make a crate, or maybe just a chest for now, of Thaumcraft crystals, so that I have access to them as needed, right? I may want them at some point. There's uses for them, because they can just be used as like one-off aspects, right? That's pretty cool. So what I'd like to do, what I'd like to focus towards, is getting to automated alchemy, right? Alchemical automation is where you want to get to first in Thaumcraft, in my opinion. Because when you start Thaumcraft, it's tricky to do all the essentia work that you need to do. And that essentia work generally causes flux, which those of you who know to Thaumcraft, flux is basically the pollutant form of magic, and it's bad. You don't want a lot of that stuff, especially in your base, right? Because bad things happen, and it's not fun for anyone. So what I'm thinking we'll do is we'll focus towards getting to essentia smelting and thaumium essentia smelter and into alchemical automation and then advanced essentia transport. And that, once we get to that point, would be a good part to start moving into a new base, because that's when things start to take up a lot of space. Right? That and an infusion, right? We want to get to that pretty quickly as well. And I'd also like to get discovering oromancy, because oromancy and artifice, alchemical metallurgy is required for artifice, right? So I need an alchemical brass ingot. So I need 5 instrumentum and iron in the furnace, right? So, and then this, and then you have 5 instrumentum and 5 terra on you, right? So I drop that in there, and then that, and that should get me that. And it leaves behind some terra, right? So if I drop these guys in there... Why do you have so much metallum in you? That might be from when I made that derp, so it's all good. Anyway... Cool stuff, right? So that gets me alchemical brass, which is used for a few things, right? So I can arc that complete. Now, can I make alchemical brass? Is that ore dictionaried with molten brass? That looks like it's the only... There's aluminum brass, but that's different from alchemical brass. So this might be the only way to make brass in the pack. Right? Which I'm not sure if there's other mods that use it, but I have to assume there are. So the next thing in my book that I want to make is thaumium, which is percantio and terra. Right? So terra comes from dirt. Percantio, I think, is usually on Salus. Yep. There's I think... And you can look this up, by the way, in JEI and figure out like what has what aspects on it, right? So that's pretty neat. There's a lot of different ways to look into different things and stuff. What has like some percantio on it? That might be easy to get our hands on. A lot of stuff with aspects. Holy cow. We'll probably need to look into it, but generally, I thought there was like a sandstone or something, but maybe that doesn't actually exist anymore. Open Block's Sky Block has 2 on it, huh? That's interesting. Why would that be the case? Oh, because you have Eyes of Ender. That's why. Eyes of Ender have Mercantile on them. Because... oh, it's just a combined. Okay. Well, let's go with Salus. That's probably the best way. So Salus and some dirt would be a good way. So dirt has 5 each on it. So I really only need 1 dirt and 1 Salus and 1 iron, right? So 1 dirt, 1 Salus, 1 iron. Cool. And then again, we want to kind of drop as many of those in there as we can, and that cleans up the mess that we just made, right? Because if we just leave those aspects in the crucible, then what happens is they eventually evaporate into the air and cause flux, and flux is bad. We can see the flux right there on the top left. See, we have 15 right now. That's not terrible, right? I've seen worse amounts of flux. Not the end of the world, right? But it could be worse, right? Now we've got 15 in this chunk. It's per chunk, right? So if you do this and show your chunk boundaries, there's 20 in this chunk, which is technically where the crucible is. So not the end of the world, but yeah, definitely something to be worried about. So keep your eye on the flux levels. Don't let them get too high, or do, because eventually you want to get there. You do have like to increase flux to like a crazy amount at some point. Celestial observation. These are all observations, so I can do that. Those are usually easy to come by. I never got into the whole celestial observation thing, but something about the moon. I think you have to have paper and scribing tools, and you have to look at the sky. Yeah, paper and scribing tools. Measuring the same body or quantity of scribe more than once a day will not give me new insights. I need to study them over time. So at nighttime, we can look into that. Hey, look, we got Artifice going. Nice. Yay, Artifice. That's another good chapter to unlock. So we unlocked basic Artifice, and this is where we can get into, like, the goggles, I thought. Is goggles under Artifice or Oromancy? It might be under Oromancy. I thought it was under Artifice, but maybe I'm wrong. But there's all kinds of good stuff here, like the Arcane Lamp. That's a cool one, because it lights up a really large area. Item teleportation using magic. Thaumic diopter are just neat, but not super useful sometimes. Redstone relays are kind of cool. We can get into the Infernal Furnace and the Hungry Chest, and the Arcane Levitator, and the Arcane Bellows. All kinds of good stuff in that chapter. All right, let's come back in a sec. All right, so I think now's a good wrapping up point for this episode. So let's do this. Let's wrap up here, and between episodes, I might start gathering the stuff I need to paste that Thaumcraft tower into the world, but there might be a few more resources I need to collect before I can do that. For now, though, I'm signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll come back next time and continue our Thaumic quest, and then once we get to a sufficient point in Thaumcraft where things are, sufficiently progressed, I think we'll be getting into astral sorcery as well. So for now, take it easy, guys.